Yeah, well, these are certainly changing times and exciting times, and I think most of the people who listen to this will agree that Blizzard are the ones who can pull it off. Not necessarily that they will, but they have the fighting chance and the competence to maybe create something worthwhile out of esports, unlike many other companies. Do you see yourself perhaps taking a more active professional role should you be given the chance, given that you're a recognized commentator and in StarCraft 1 and everything?
Given the opportunity, I would jump on that extremely quickly because I love commentating and I love casting. If it comes down to stop commentating or pursue other professional career, I don't know. It comes down to whether because I cast because I love it. I don't cast because I get paid to do it. And I feel like that's almost a factor that works against me at times. If someone was willing to pay me to cast, that would be an absolute dream job, and I would jump all over that if I could make a living doing what I love, what I really, really love. As far as the likelihood of that, I don't know. And I think there's a couple issues. Is one, I think people know that I'll probably cast no matter what, depending. Maybe at some point I'll get overwhelmed in the future and just have to pull away from it, but that's at least not the case at the moment. And two, at least up to this stage, I don't know if I'll be able to do it for StarCraft 2 just because of time investment. I'm not the high-level gamer that a lot of the other casters are, specifically Tasteless and Artosis, and I think that holds back in a lot of people's minds. That just pure casting skill, I'm not sure if it'll be in there. And also with StarCraft 2, because of the commentator tools, I'm pensive a bit because I have a feeling what's going to happen is I'll just get buried among a lot of new casters, and I don't really have any guarantees that I'm going to be all that much better than all the new casters that are going to be flooding the scene. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of them that'll be much more talented players and also much more talented casters than me. And I have a feeling what'll happen is then I'll be able to fade into the groundwork and just kind of sit on my laurels back then, or at that stage, and be able to say, I remember when all this casting got started and this craziness with esports. I think that's when I'll be able to sit back and smile, actually.
You are very humble indeed. Perhaps more so than you should be, in my opinion, but I guess we'll see, and your many fans are pleased to hear that you'll definitely consider continuing with StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to refuse any offers. If Blizzard came to me and said, we'll give you a job, as soon as they say the word job, I would immediately say yes, no matter what it is, because Blizzard's an amazing corporation, and I've been there at their headquarters, and it really is like a cloud. That place is amazing.
So I hear a giant bronze orc guarding the gates,
Yes.
that really sets the mood. Do you know, by the way, if it's true, the legend that says that if you worked at Blizzard for 5 years, you get this iron cast Diablo 2 style sword given to you?
I don't doubt it, because I saw a lot of Frostborns just around the office. It seemed like everyone, there was one at every other group, they had the big, huge, hefty swords either mounted on their wall or in a box. Actually, I think that was my favorite one, is someone had kind of marked up a box to kind of look, it looked like it was kind of the fake Arthurian sword thing, where you had the Frostborn in there to pull out, obviously, an homage to Warcraft 3. So I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, I definitely believe the legend.
Well, good luck getting a slice of that, indeed. Had I lived on your side of the Atlantic, I would try to pursue a similar path myself. So speaking of Blizzard and their headquarters, what are your most memorable thing from BlizzCon? What struck you the most, in or outside the game?
In or outside the game? I think one of the big amazing moments was actually there was an OSL party, and the CJ Intis team came in, and congratulations to team. They put on a really good show, actually. Yeah. And they started asking quiz questions, and it was really neat being in a room just full of other people that kind of shared the same passion. So I thought that was a really amazing moment. And another amazing moment was that stuck out in my mind. And also what stuck out in my mind was being, actually I would call this the number one moment, is being behind Rhett when he was playing against Nada, and he managed to come from behind and take a victory on Colosseum. And there was this huge crowd of people behind him. It was about like 3 rows deep, and everybody trying to look over each other's head, and people kind of dodging out of the way to give people views. And we all were behind Rhett watching him, and game 1 finished, and we're like, oh, come on. And then Rhett won game 2, and everybody was kind of cheering and applauding. And game 3 ended up losing. It was a tough match. Nada really played it well. where he got a little bit greedy. But anyway, afterwards, everybody applauded, and it was just, I don't know, it was really, it was one of those moments. It felt really special and felt really great.
I imagine so. That must have been a great foreign moment, and I did enjoy watching the game from afar. So I imagine that was quite a thing. Returning to the actual StarCraft that we're all used to and love, the seasons are kicking off very soon. Pro League, MSL, OSL. What are your predictions and thoughts?
Whew. Jaedong looked like he was burning out towards the end of last season, and I'm kind of curious if he's going to be able to maintain it. He has a new contract, and I think it's kind of the Flash syndrome, or actually I would say the We Made Fox syndrome, where they just brutally rely on one player to carry the entire team. And that's really rough. So I have a feeling that Oz might actually have a rough start. Khan actually looks really strong. So I'm really looking for them to play really well this season. Additionally, I think SKT and STX SKT is going to continue to play well. And STX, they're one of those teams where they have a really strong lineup. I feel like they have the best 3 spread, where they even have Calm in the mix now too. Where they have Calm, I think they still have Jelizerg. And they just have an amazing lineup across all the races, great practice partners. I have no idea why they don't take the championship every year, just considering the amount of talent that is in that core. So I'm expecting them to break out one of these seasons and just take a championship sometime or another. But for whatever reason, they just don't seem to be able to get over that hump. But I'm looking for STX to do very well as well.
Well, they have the dubious thing called the Yuk factor, of course.
Yeah.
Well, that has certainly rocked the world of many. Yuk, of course, being the laughingstock of the entire StarCraft world for a very long time, until he actually did an all-kill in the finals. Some listeners might have missed that, in the finals of the STX Masters Cup. And now I spoiled that for you, but it was an amazingly unanticipated event, and so now being Yuk doesn't quite mean being, you know, the rude word, as it did usually. Quite an interesting turn of events there.